We want to look at Jonah. So God told him to go and preach to some people. And of course, if you're a church folks, you know what he did. So God was frustrating Jonah's effort. So people were trying to stop everything. They were throwing their goods away. So what should we do? Look at what this is. Pick me up and throw me into the sea. He replied, and it will become calm. Did he know when he was telling them to throw him, that fish was going to swallow him? Obviously, I would rather die than go to Nineveh to fulfill God's will. So why can God not give up on him? Look at what God did. Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. You know what that means? Despite his mistake, God was making provision. So maybe I should say this. Never mistake God's provision for God's approval. Never mistake God's goodness for God's approval. This is the problem with our generation. Because, maybe I went out of God's will. Nothing has happened to me. I'm still fine. That's God's goodness at work. Look at what Paul said. Romans 2:4. Or do you despise the riches of his goodness for forbearance and long suffering, not knowing the goodness of God leads to what? The reason God is being good to you, the reason God is making provision despite your mistake, because God knows that his goodness will lead to your repentance. Let's see whether this principle is true. Jonah 2:1. Then Jonah prayed to the Lord. What made him pray? Obviously, he saw God's discipline and love. Jonah must have realized something, which I want us to realize, that God doesn't discipline us to pay us back, but to get us back.